Hey, how you guys doing? I'm X. Yeah, and I'm on the Ender server, and it's actually been a while since I recorded on the Ender server. Yeah, with all the Microsoft buying Minecraft stuff, wasn't really sure what was going to be going on. I do know that it's overdue for the was it 1.8.1 bug fix. I've actually noticed a lot of bugs popping up, and the longer that it sits without the updates, the worse it's getting. uh, for instance, I had a smooth um, stone generator over here, which a friend of mine had made, and it just stopped working. I tried messing with the timings, and it just wouldn't work right. Uh, and this one, the cobblestone generator, it keeps duplicating items into the hopper, so there's only one single item, but there was two of the exact same items in there, which is very strange. So I'm probably going to do a let's play this week or maybe next week, I don't know, um, using either a villager breeder, because I do want to get some trading going on, and make a villager trading center. Something else, I had to change the design of Burned Out Guy's farm here. Um, kind of weird. I was getting some like creepers always spawning over here. Now you can see that I have it, pretty lit up. But I would get them coming out, and I would come out of here, and because it was a round thing, you couldn't see them, and so I'd get about right here, and it would blow up the path. So I decided just to make it square, and to just make it look a little bit, you know, yeah, just make it square, more function. All this works good. The chicken farm and the cow cooker is working really good. So as we're going to be heading over to the um, iron towers, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about some stuff I've been working on as far as my computer goes. So I just got a new motherboard. It's a Crosshair 5 Formula Z, and it's one of AMD Asus's premium, but it was on sale for a little under 200 bucks at Newegg, so I went ahead and got it. um, yeah, so a lot of people don't know it, but what I've been doing is basically taking a lot of the lag off of the server. In the Nether, you always load a lot more, but I did notice that the simple and minor redstone devices were having issues when any iron farm was running. So I've actually hit, I think, I don't need any more iron, so instead of destroying the iron foundry, because I have the iron towers, a lot of people don't know it, but you can actually just turn it off, which is really cool. The first thing I did to turn it off was to basically turn the spawn chunk. This keeps the spawn chunks alive by basically putting poppies into the nether, and that keeps the spawn chunks alive over here, and the etho clock stops because I have it on the power position, so that will allow it to merge chunks. So when I'm not on the server, it's not overloading it. And then of course, amazingly, I thought, I could just leave this on the off position and it would eventually merge the doors, and it actually never did, which was weird. It kept producing 32 village amount of iron until I actually went and watched the guy's tutorial to figure out how to turn it off so I don't get any iron golem spawning. And that's because I have, I think it's 45 chests. It's technically 50 with what I have at the mansion. 50 chests of iron blocks. I don't think I'm going to need iron for a long time, so I'm just going to give you a brief little explanation of how this works. How this actually works is there are 64 pistons. Now there's only 32 in a line, but there's another one underneath this, and the way that this works is when these pistons extend, it will extend this one, adding light to these doors, changing the light, and then it'll do the same to the one over there, causing it to chain, and it'll go through all of these. It takes 1 hour to chain up automatically 32 villages, which will give you, 1600 iron from what I could calculate. At least that's what I was getting. But I think it's only guaranteed for 1300. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of what happens is by removing this redstone here, it starts the clock. And go ahead and come over here. So yeah, let me just double check this real quick. What that does is it actually turns these towers on and off, which have villages in them as well, and those are used to link down here and then vice versa. So when I turn this on, it actually gives me like 3 or 4 villages. So let me go ahead and show you what happens if this was in full running mode and I was to take this. Let me go ahead and check this real quick. It's almost done doing its little thing, so once it's done putting all the blocks, it's going to flop over, and at this point I can go ahead and break it like that and replace it. And what it'll do is it will cause as you can see here, it causes all the pistons to extend, and what that does is dechains all the villages, so it'll turn it on the off position, and then all I have to do now is hit the restart button, and it takes 1 hour. So I could go AFK over here, and it will take 1 hour, and it'll chain 32 village of, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Really a smart design, I think, because there's nothing worse than having to rechain the amount of doors on the Iron Foundry or Iron Titan for that matter. But by leaving this on the off position, it's not going to ever, finish or rotate anything or turn any of the merging on, or I'm sorry, door chaining on. So really cool design. It's very expensive. I don't think I could have done it without some kind of iron farm. I mean, we're really talking about, stacks and stacks of, So you can see that just in the short period that I had it on, we have iron golems over here, and that shows you that the center of the villages is messed up, but that's actually normal when it first starts. So I've had them over there, I've had them over here, but once it does the 32 villages, because it will slowly move the center point here, it will always put the iron golems where you want them. Now, since I don't need any iron, I'm going to go ahead and just leave these guys alive. They should do some protecting. You can see that the center of the village is here. Dispatch these guys real quick. Yeah, immediately. Now, it's funny too, if you leave it here for a long time on the off position, because there's enough doors and villagers, it will actually give you, 4 over a day or 2 period. That would be if I had the spawn chunk, keeps the spawns alive clock on. If I had that on here, it would actually give me some. But since when I leave the area, it's just going to do what it normally does. It's all cool. So one more thing I wanted to show you. We're hitting the almost to 10 minutes now. So I made this for when I do start it up again. I mean, that's so much iron, I don't think I'm ever going to need it, but this is all designed to get as many poppies as I think I'm going to need, and then when it gets full, it will automatically destroy any of the other items that go through here. One of the issues I had with this particular thing is that there would be so many items over here that when you hit the corner over there, it would drop your FPS to 1, because there'd be like 16 chests worth of poppies over here, which is just enough to lag anything out. So yeah, I believe I was going to show you guys one more thing, which is going to require me having to skip through this video. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to that, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Alrighty, so after quite a long run with about a 2-minute cart ride, which I was sitting there thinking about the new Nero and River Girl coaster, if you guys had seen that. So this is the 1.8 upgraded Nether, which basically means me and Burned Out Guy went and rebuilt the Blaze farm now. Most of the stuff was already here, but we kind of wanted to have something that was a lot quicker. And as far as I can tell, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your situation and how many people are actually in the Nether. But you can get up to 77 mobs in here, which I'm going to go ahead and show you. Before we do, though, I'm going to go ahead and go into spectator mode, so I can show you guys kind of what's going on inside this. So it's Ethos design, except for it funnels them down into 1, which does mean that the spawn rates wouldn't be quite as good. But because I actually made this up as high as possible, these pistons, they're only here. You could actually get away with not having these, but if one does spawn and he happens to fly over here, it will just kick him down, and it just funnels them down really quick. So there's a couple flaws with it, which I'm still working on, and that is this carpet right here. It's the only thing that prevents them from being able to shoot at you. So if it catches fire, which does happen, if that was to happen, so I'm going to basically just sit here. You can see that right when I get into this area right here, when I come up here, it automatically starts spawning them. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. It says we have 5 entities, but we know there's only 2, so it's not going to be 100% correct. But I'm going to go ahead and go AFK, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so it's been, I don't know, about 5 minutes, and you can see that I probably have about 40 entities in here. Pretty cool. And then we just go ahead and you can see that it's dropped my FPS down pretty substantially. And then we're going to go ahead and kill them. Now I'm going to use my looting sword, but you don't actually have to. You could punch them, but it's much easier, and you get a lot more from it if you just, you can see if I don't do it really quick, the carpet will burn. I could put a half slab there, and it would solve the problem of them burning it. But yeah, you can see pretty decent amounts of blaze rods. That's 30, and the XP is probably about the same. But yeah, I mean, when you're in that vicinity right there, it spawns really quick. It's very, very nice and very cool design. But anyway, that actually brings me to the end of the video. It's kind of more of a server tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.